The way that a game progresses is kind of a deal breaker. I mean, you can have all the best combat, graphics, and characters, but if the story just doesn't move on well enough, no one's gonna enjoy the game. Well, with that being said, I've got some pretty exciting news to share today. We've just found out a bunch of new information to do with Assassin's Creed Mirage's progression, and I'm not lying when I say it's unlike anything we've seen before. In this video, I'll break all of these leaks down so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Before we get into this video, let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Instant Gaming. Now, Instant Gaming isn't like every other business out there, because they actually want you to save money rather than spend it. Instant Gaming basically offers the flagship games that you want for a fraction of the price. It's literally a dream come true for gamers like you and me. They also offer pretty cheap top-up cards, which is an added bonus. Right now, you can grab a pre-order of Assassin's Creed Mirage for 20% off. They're also running a deal on Starfield, which is 26% off right now. So if you want to get your hands on Mirage and other awesome games for a fraction of the price, make sure you head to the link in the bio of this video. And hey, there's no need to thank me. So the first way that Mirage will be different is through natural story progression. In previous games, most notably the open world titles like Valhalla, the story didn't have a huge effect on your character. Sure, certain missions would unlock new gear, but other than that, the story was just a story, and it didn't impact actual gameplay very much. This is all going to change with Mirage. Instead of just being a set of dialogue and a few cutscenes, the story will now be dynamic. It will be part of the game. When you first start out in Mirage, Basim will be an apprentice and very rough around the edges, but as you complete more missions, he will become more skilled and proficient and climb the ranks as an assassin. He's even going to look different as the story goes on. At the start of the game, Basim's going to look young and fresh and will wear apprentice robes, but as the game goes on, he'll start to look more seasoned and his outfit will also change to represent his rank as an assassin. This is huge because it's going to make the story way more immersive than what we've gotten used to over the past few years with titles like Valhalla and Origins. Now the story is actually going to mean something, and beyond forming the backbone of the game's structure, it will affect how you play. Another way that Ubisoft is going to make the story more immersive is by doing away with any optional story missions. So with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, we got a lot of choice in how we wanted to play out the story, and depending on what options you choose, you get a different ending. For instance, with Valhalla, you would get a total of 6 different endings, ranging from the Asgard ending to the Order of the Ancients ending. This is pretty standard for RPGs, but for a game like Assassin's Creed, with such an important linear story, not so much. So Mirage will cut out all of this padding. There will be one beginning, one ending. And to get from point A to point B, you will do the exact same missions in the exact same order in the same way. Sure, there will probably be a few optional missions here and there, but for the most part, Mirage is absolutely representing a walk down memory lane for Assassin's Creed in terms of story progression. Now, you might think that this will kill the replayability of Mirage, but then again, Black Flag had a linear story, and that has been hailed as one of, if not the best Assassin's Creed game ever. We also know that there's going to be a skill tree within Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now, this isn't exactly groundbreaking, and the last handful of Assassin's Creed games have all featured a skill tree. However, the way that players will progress through this skill tree will be completely different. In Valhalla, there were 113 skills for you to unlock on the skill tree. A lot of these were filler type skills, which only gave you a few XP or a 1% increase to a certain stat. But still, this skill tree was absolutely huge and would take you forever to fully unlock. For Mirage, Ubisoft is dialing things way back. Instead of having hundreds of skills to unlock, there will only be about 15 to 20. And unlike Valhalla, every single one of these skills will be significant and will genuinely change the way that you play the game. These skills are broken down into 3 categories: Phantom, Trickster, and Predator. The Phantom skill class is represented by a Scorpion, and so far we know the 3 skills that will fit under this category. First of all, there's a skill called Breakfall, where Basim will automatically commit to a roll after falling from an otherwise fatal height. Next on the tree is Airstrike, which will slow down time when you're aiming or throwing knives mid-air. Then finally, there is Kickback, which will allow you to perform a powerful kick after parrying an enemy strike. Next up is Trickster, which is represented by a spider. The first skill under this category will give you an extra shot for a new tool. Then the second skill will allow you to retrieve any throwing knives that you use in combat. And finally, there's Elixir Pocket, which will increase your elixir carrying capacity by 1. Then finally, we got the Predator skill class, represented by an eagle. One ability we know about is called Enkidu Activity, which will increase the perception of your eagle. The next up is Eagle Sense, which will allow your eagle to reveal the patrol path of marked enemies. And finally, there's Emergency Aim, which will allow you to snap onto an enemy after they detect you and kill them before they can alert anyone else. There will be plenty of other skills in each tree, but so far these are the only ones that we know about. We also know that Ubisoft is completely getting rid of the XP system, so to unlock these skills, you're just going to need to have enough skill points. The skill tree will also be linear, so you have to unlock all the previous skills in a tree to get the next one. The skills are also going to be tied into the story, so instead of being able to go off on various side quests to level up your character like in open world titles, the story will be the key to your character's progression and Mirage. And this is what the skill tree was originally meant to be in Assassin's Creed, so it was good to see Ubisoft make this kind of move. Now, as you progress through the story, you're also going to be able to use a variety of weapons. We don't necessarily know anything about these weapons for sure, but we can definitely make some educated guesses on what Basim will wield throughout the story. First of all, we're probably going to see Basim come equipped with a scimitar. This is the bread and butter of the Islamic Golden Age warfare, so it would fit the setting of Mirage perfectly. We've also seen Basim wield this weapon in a gameplay trailer, which is another little giveaway. We may also see Basim use a two-handed sword as the game progresses. These were also used at the time and could be unlocked for slightly more combat-heavy missions. Another few other weapons that I'd love to see Basim wield are a spear or a javelin, and potentially even something like a bow. These kind of weapons would allow you to take enemies out from range, which would complement the stealthy gameplay nicely. Tools are also going to be a huge part of the game. Ubisoft has even gone as far to say that Mirage will have the largest assortment of tools out of any Assassin's Creed game, and given that Mirage is on the smaller side, that's a bold statement to make. Some tools that we do know about include the torch, blow dart, throwing knife, smoke bomb, and noisemaker. We've seen all of these before in other Assassin's Creed games, so it's no surprise here. But interestingly, an image of a trap has also been released, which will be the first time that we've ever seen traps in an Assassin's Creed game. And there will likely be a whole host of other tools that we haven't seen before either. So you're probably going to unlock these skills as you progress through the story. It'll turn out that you need X tool to complete Y mission, and then afterwards you get to keep the tool. You know the format. What's also interesting is that players will be able to upgrade their tools. For instance, you can make your blow darts lethal, or put victims into a fit of rage, weaponize the noisemaker, or even upgrade your throwing knives for range and lethality. These upgrades will allow you to lean into your own playstyle. So as you can see, the skill progression in Mirage is completely different than anything we've been used to for the past 5 or so years. Gone are the days of grinding for XP to unlock a new skill. Gone are the days of forgetting about the story. In its place, we got new things to look forward to, like a story that's so much more than a few cutscenes, new tools that will actually affect how we play, and a skill tree that won't make you want to rip your hair out. So all in all, with this new progression system, we should be even more excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out our recent breakdown on how the Assassin's Creed Mirage skill tree will completely change everything. And of course, thanks for watching.